Taurus Millennium PT111 G2, no, PT111 Millennium G2 Pro. A lot of stuff there, isn't there? But yeah, fantastic gun. What can I say? It's I paid $265 for mine, and bought a lot of guns in my time period, and not all of them worked right out of the box. This one has worked right out of the box, and has so far yet to prove me wrong in saying it's a great gun. So I say yes, yes. At 500 rounds, it's a great gun. I'll play with it a little more and, in 6 months report back to you. But for now, I don't know what to say other than outstanding value for the money. Review. What we have here is a Taurus. Let's make sure it's unloaded. A Taurus PT111 Millennium G2. That's a mouthful for an inexpensive gun. Comes with a magazine that is metal and holds 12 rounds. Put one in the chamber, and you got a 13-round carry gun. It's a very interesting gun in the fact it's got a second strike capability. So the slide comes back, it cocks the striker, loads the round, you pull the trigger, but the primer is a little too tough and it doesn't go off. You can pull the trigger again. This time when you pull the trigger, it's going to cock that striker for you and then release it. So you got a second strike capability. And so when the Taurus says it's single action, double action, it's really not single action, double action. It is single action gun. Every time you load it, it's single action. The slide comes back, reloads, it's single action. So each shot's the same single action. But it gives you that double action capability to give you a second strike capability, but it's really not single action, double action. I'm trying to explain this because I had a hard time figuring out why they called it single action, double action. It's really a single action firearm, but it will allow you that second strike capability if the primer doesn't fire. Every time the slide goes back, it's going to come back into battery single action. That's the way you're going to have it. So, kind of a unique firearm in that fact that this is a 6-pound, 10-ounce trigger pull, whether it's single action or double action. It's the same weight trigger pull because, in single action, there's very little resistance to hit that point, and then when it's pushing back, releasing the striker, you get the resistance. But in the double action mode, you get the resistance right away, and it goes all the way back like a revolver, kind of, sort of. It's cocking it and releasing it, so you get the tension right away, but it's still the same amount of tension. It's 6 pounds, 10 ounces, which I find interesting. Because if it were a revolver and you cocked it, you're going to have a lighter trigger pull in single action than you will if you use the trigger to cock it and release the hammer in a double action mode. It's going to be a longer, harder trigger pull. This is a longer trigger pull, but it's not harder than the double action trigger. I think I've spent enough time on that. I think you get it. What else do we have for features? Well, you got a gun here that's basically built like a Glock. It's got the same release lever, takedown lever, as a Glock. Works the same way. You pull it back a little bit, push those levers down, and here you do have to pull the trigger as you push the slide forward to release it. And you've got inside there, we find a double spring captive coil. Typical linkless barrel. And something I find impressive is instead of just a push-in front sight that you find on a lot of guns, especially in this price range, it is actually, if I get that screwed in, it's actually got a screw holding that sight down, so it's not going to just pop off after so many rounds. And if it does, you can put a little Loctite on there and put it back on and be good to go. So that in this price range is very impressive. Now when you put it back together, I have noticed there's not really a groove there for that recoil spring to sit in. So you got to get it in just the right spot. Of course, you're not going to just pop back together. Let's see if I got it this time. And no, I do not. You see? And that would be my only dislike of this firearm so far. But it's pretty minor. And just if they'd had machined a little tiny groove there for it to sit in, you'd get it the first time. First one off the bat. We've got a loaded chamber indicator, which to me is meaningless because I always do a press check because I want to see that round. But that's me. It has a safety on the side, which I know some people won't like. Myself, if the trigger pull's stiff enough and long enough, I don't see any need for a safety. But on a 6-pound trigger pull at single action, yeah, I kind of like that safety right there. But that's me. Everybody's got their own. But I do like the fact if you are going to have a safety, this is the way it should be. It should be mounted on the frame. It should be a 1911 style. And I say mounted on the frame because I want to be able to rack the slide without that safety being in the way. And a 19 style because that, I think they should all be that way. So you can train and learn how to shoot a gun without a safety and a gun with a safety. If every one of them with the same kind of safety, you could pick up any gun with a safety if you'd be trained on it, good to go. And this is the, you know, John Browning got it right. This is the way a safety should be. You should be able to just put it down with your thumb like that. And it's a very positive safety. This thing locks into place. Very nice. It's got these little grooves to put your finger on, which, you know, you're not supposed to put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Personally, I like putting my finger right up on the takedown lever because it's got little notches in the top of it, and it really digs in to the point where it hurts if you push hard enough. And that gives you some leverage if they try to take the gun away from you. And I like that. I did a video on that. Check it out. It's a Glock video. I'll post it up there. And I got a lot of bad reviews on that. People don't like my concept there, and it's not my concept. It's a well-practiced training technique, and I like it. It makes sense to me because it allows me to retain the firearm better, which is a big deal here because the grip's so short on this gun. You need that extra retention and to keep somebody from taking it away from you. And it also keeps you from shooting them. If you keep your finger down here and they grab the gun, it's pretty easy to slip down and pop it off. But that's me. I got a lot of people did not like that concept. I like that, so this little notch here doesn't mean anything to me. The thumb groove back here is kind of nice, though. Sit your thumb there. It fits nice. You put this magazine in. It's not a full grip, which I like a full grip. It's darn close. But you put the magazine in, you got that little deal going there, that finger groove going there, and yeah, it's very nice. I like that. It's very nice. Very, very, very nice grip. It's got this stiffling, I guess they call it, and of course over time it'll probably compress and not be quite as sandpapery as it is, but right now it feels fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I haven't even shot the thing, just picking it up, I love it. It has two features that, you know, not anything I like. I don't really have any desire to have this on a gun, but back to the gal with the kid and not much money, it may be something that's important. It's the lock here. It's got that Taurus lock, so you can lock the gun and make it so you can't pull the trigger. And in this case, it keeps her from maybe having to buy a safe right away. Now, living in the inner city, though, she's probably legislated to the point where she has to have a gun safe. But still, this may be a good feature for her, having a kid and maybe being kind of a novice. But it does have also a tool on that same key to adjust the rear sight, because the rear sight is adjustable for windage and elevation. Absolutely, really, when you look at it, for 200 plus bucks, an incredible firearm. Well, guys, I promised you an update, and it's still a great gun, the Taurus PT111. No failures to feed, no failures to eject, nothing has changed. Well, one thing has changed. I'm having a contest. Yeah, it's called the American Gunfighter 5,000 sub giveaway, where when I reach 5,000 subs, I'm giving away a $350 gift certificate to Brownells. where you can buy gun parts or ammo. Everybody knows Brownell's just a great place for gun guys to go get stuff. And all you got to do to get in my contest is, number one, you got to be a subscriber. Yeah, because how do I get to 5,000 subs unless you subscribe? Number two, like this video. And number three, in the comment section down below, just type in, "Hi, Mr. Holster. Thanks for the update." There you go, pards. Thanks for watching. If you like my channel, why not subscribe and get in the game? Till next time, go out and stay safe.